15 things that are common in divorce. According to Reddit, number 15. Father is a divorce lawyer. He says that every single man that comes in initiating a divorce says the same thing. Well, it happened to me. I don't know how, but she's not sleeping with me anymore. Should I just divorce her? And he said that they're always all blown away when he tells them that it's the single most common reason why men initiate divorce. Like, they think they're one in a million. But it's basically all of them. Since I know I'll get some private messages, I've already asked him before. Women generally initiate divorce due to lack of income. He cheated on her, or he hit her or the kids. Men generally initiate divorce due to lack of sex, the wife cheated, or the wife hit the husband or the kids. He said the second two on each one are pretty rare. It's mostly, just the first one for both of them. Interesting. Well, OP responds, when you put it that way, marriage seems a lot like a long-term prostitution. And then someone responds to OP, marriage is a business proposition. It's always been that way historically. Only recently have people been, just marrying essentially each other because they feel so great about each other. Put a spin rich to their life together. But back in the day, it was about what one family could benefit from having their little piece of crap married off to another family. I'm telling you, man. You guys falling for all of this hilariously ritualistic and old school traditional. Number 14, family lawyer checking in late to the show. Women, any mother south of 35 years of age will almost always assume that the father is a negligent parent when the kids are with him and the children are going to die in his care. Dads often have a different parenting style that today's helicopter moms just can't wrap their fucking heads around. And these mothers are convinced that it's only their irresponsible husband who are like this, and that other dads are way better at parenting. Men, that the child and spousal support laws are so draconian in their specific case that they'll never be able to afford it. I mean, how are they supposed to afford a mortgage on the new condo and the truck payment and the motorcycle payment and servicing the joint credit card debt and line of credit and trip to Cuba and sparkly things for the new woman and okay. They seem very shocked when I suggest downsizing their lifestyle in order to meet their legal and financial obligations, and they're convinced that their situation is special and deserving of some different magical support scale. Look, this is another one of those where OP is just sticking his dick in every freaking response to get him some of that trickle-down karma stripes.
You really think this is all about karma?
Isn't everything just about karma to these Reddit assholes? Number 13. Pretty sure my divorce was unique. Wife and I had a 17-year-old exchange student living with us. Oh no. Wife has an affair with the exchange student and the boy wants out. He packs his shit and is trying to leave, and the wife calls the cops and tells her that he raped her. Oh. Dude, women are fucking assholes. I don't want to read it. I want the men and the women in this specific little list to be nice and equally awful, because women get a little bit too much, I want to say, legal spotlight when they open their mouth and start squawking. You know what I mean?
Can we talk about how, stacked child support laws are against men?
But the women don't have rights as far as they're concerned. Anyway, I believe her first few days until the boy is released from juvenile detention. He believes her, the wife, of course. Okay, story time. Wife and I decide to get an exchange student. We look at a few profiles and choose the one we like. Boy comes over, 17 years old, from a Muslim country, obviously a virgin. We have 2 little kids, both under 5. Wife always insists that I leave the house with the kids to go to the park, take them to the zoo, etc. I don't mind since I'm like spending time with the kids. One day, she seems mad. I'm not sure what's going on. Carry on with my day. Come home from the store, and there are cops everywhere. Cop takes me and wife upstairs for a talk. Wife says she was raped. I am speechless. Totally believe her. Boy is arrested that night and taken away. Wife goes to the hospital to do a rape kit. On the way back from the hospital, the police seize her phone. 2 to 3 days later, the boy is released from juvenile detention, and I start asking questions. Call up the exchange program, and they are like, dude, the story your wife is telling and the story the exchange student is telling are totally different. Great. Call up the kid's dad, and he's like, yeah, dude, your wife is the aggressor. Great. Start asking wife questions. How long did it happen? 3 to 4 weeks. Ugh, the fuck? Why didn't you report it? Well, he always seemed so remorseful and apologetic. He seemed to have such a nice future, and I didn't want to ruin it. Great. How did it start? Well, he would slap my butt and try to take my robe off and try to get in the shower with me. He would take my phone and send himself messages from my phone. Like, he would take your phone and send himself messages? Yes. How did he get the password? The 4-year-old gave it away. Oh, okay. I see. What kind of messages? Pictures of myself and sexually explicit messages. For the month beforehand, the wife takes the kid to all sorts of college tours and prom shopping. I am with my 2 little kids after work and on weekends. I am raging. I ask her, was he acting aggressive? Day of rape? Yes. Okay, why would you insist that I leave the house with the kids to go to the park if he was doing these things? No response. Call her a skank whore. Tell her she is going to destroy this family. She calls the cops and has me removed from the house. Yeah, because she gets all the power. I am talking to a divorce attorney by this point. Attorney recommends I file a restraining order. Oh boy. This is just pathetic. And take the house and the kids back. You know, the CPS calls and says, hey, hombre, where the kids at? And I say, I am working on it. Restraining order in process. They're like, great, do that. I talk to the cops and they're like, yeah, she was here this morning to pick them and her criminal defense. What? Pick them up and pick up her phone, and she pleaded the fifth. The fifth as a rape victim. Okay. Popo and CPS say that the wife will not talk to them, and her criminal defense attorney is handling the matter on her behalf. Great. Restraining order approved in like 2 hours. Get the house and the kids back. CPS gives me nearly full custody of the kids. Police forwarded the case to the county DA, and it seems like they are dragging their feet with charging her. Now imagine if I had a 17-year-old girl that lived with me that I sent texts to and had sexual relations with or had raped. Would I still be out and about? Doubt it. What a ridiculous double standard. And ain't that the nature of the world we live in, Stripes? That the women say shit, and you know, they get that fucking spotlight. And then worse, because we live in a society with like dumb sluts that think with their freaking heart, even though it's really the brain, as opposed to using the actual brain like a man would, dude. You're gonna literally, we're living in the world where we have to prove shit to the jury. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And what that means is it doesn't matter what's right. It doesn't matter what's wrong. It doesn't matter what's legal. If you can dance your ass around with a story or a movie in front of a stupid ass jury that don't know shit, you know what I mean? You remember how there was this one video that H3 made where he was legit scared because remember he was talking about how it all comes down to what the jury thinks, and it was just like, yeah, dude, it's funny, that's the world we live in.
Which one was that? I don't think I've seen it.
I think he like raised a whole bunch of money because like, you know, he was being attacked when he was legally within his right to do and make, you know, some of the, you know, the content that he makes.
Is this the thing that like Lunch Spoofa or whatever?
I have no fucking idea. I wasn't following it closely enough. I'm not even like into that guy seriously. I mean, I like what he does, but I just saw the video and they were like, dude, this comes down to what a jury thinks. And I was like, God, you guys are scared. You know what I mean? It's pretty good. Number 12, family attorney here. Graciously leaving that area. Literally everything. Everything is practically the same. Money, kids, earnings, allegations, nothing is unique. If you can put away your bullshit and relish the fact that you are no longer going to be with this person you don't want to be with, let's make it easy. I've had complex divorces go super easy, and I've had simple ones drag on for years out of spite. Listen to your attorney. You know what a good attorney does if he finds himself in a legal predicament? He gets an attorney. You're paying for his experience in the system. Almost guaranteed, if you go to trial, you will leave with less than you hoped for. You can 99% of the time get something better and cheaper if you agree. This pretty much just seems to be like a frustrated lawyer jumping up on a soapbox to let all the... No, he's giving the divorcees, the people who are going into a divorce advice. But, maybe there are people going through a divorce right now that have somehow found this list, so I won't deprive them of the legal advice that this guy is giving them. We don't want your case any longer than you do. If you have unrealistic goals and refuse to listen to our counsel, we will gladly bill you for the time. Most calls between attorneys start out with, "What does your client want to do?" Followed by, "I've told my client this, but they want to do that." 90% of the time, I know, and the other attorney will know exactly how the court is going to rule, which is pretty funny. You think about it, your attorney already knows, how the court's going to handle this. I have had countless hearings where we should have had everything settled. One side won't agree, and we'll go and tell the judge the impasse and that we're going to put on this little bit of testimony and let the judge rule. Congrats, that's 3 hours billable. Yeah, I mean, like, most of the people doing this shit got the money to lose, you know what I mean? Otherwise, they'd be agreeable. What?
I wonder if Steven Spielberg's divorce is still the most expensive divorce. Because you know how much... she got, like, 50% of what he has, and he was already the top of the billing.
You hear all that outside?
Screeching? Yeah, of course.
It looked like, it sounded like somebody was screeching all over the pavement. But yeah, no, I'm saying, fuck Spielberg. Not saying that he's a bad guy, he doesn't deserve his money, but yeah, you already should know that, like, when you make money and you're getting up there, and as far as success and income is concerned, half of these hoes don't care about you, nigga, they care about that money. So, if you already have a wife and this kind of fame hits you, good fucking luck. But if, some kind of fame or wealth hits you, because it's one thing to be rich, and again, everybody gets rich and then they squander it. But it's another thing to establish wealth, man. If you establish wealth and you don't have a female, you need to sign yourself up for the life of only having girlfriends and boyfriends and nobody that's getting into your pockets without any kind of prenuptial agreement, because yeah, dude, they will entitle themselves. Think about how many arguments that, like, you've gotten into with anybody that you've just been with where they find themselves entitled, because that's what people do when they slide into a place of comfort in the relationship. They just feel that they deserve certain treatment or deserve certain things, and even if, like, after a day they reach a point where they're just like, okay, I was acting crazy, I don't want that. Like, being stubborn is a hell of a thing, you know what I mean? And like, we know phrases socially that are just like, hey, I'm not gay, but $20 is $20. What's $20 million, Stripes? You know what I mean? Shit, people will go crazy and act a fool for $20 million, and that's what life we're living in. Let me continue this. If you're going to trial, in most cases, family law is like a weird office setting. It's the same attorneys interacting with each other on a weekly to daily basis. Same with the judges. I inform my clients they are to be respectful of their attorney and the entire court staff. These are people I have ongoing business relationships with. If you see me having a friendly conversation with the other attorney prior to the hearing or even during a recess, we are not conspiring against you or trying to milk you for all you have. Same thing. If you see the other attorney speaking with the judge, don't assume that that you are getting the shaft. They are likely social with the judge outside of the courtroom, like I am. If you have a dedicated family judge and your attorney isn't on a good relationship with them, find another one. Ooh. And please don't call me. If you have an emergency, talk to my assistant. She will determine if it is an emergency. It likely isn't. I will call you by the end of tomorrow. Who is this guy?
That's really shady that you should... it's good advice, but still...
What's shady?
The whole, you should find an attorney that's buddy-buddy with the judge.
That's the way life works.
suppose it is. Whatever you have to do to get
That's
ahead.
the way life works. And like kind of living in this, like, you know what that is, Stripes? You know how like a girl will get raped and then everybody will jump on like the whole, oh well, you know, this should never have happened type scenario, type bandwagon. And I'm not saying that it should have happened, you know.
But
obviously
there are
no girl
probably-
deserves to be raped.
There were
But what
probably
did this girl
things-
do to take, you know, take this situation into consideration? Did she do anything to, like, you know, prevent this kind of thing from happening? What did she do to try and stop it? Did she scream? You know, did she bite? Was there a weapon where she felt like her life would have been endangered? She doesn't carry any weapons or anything like that. I'm not saying that these girls are making themselves rapeable. I'm saying the bigger problem to me are the amount of people who align themselves with the mentality that we should just be living in a utopia where this kind of shit isn't going to happen, you know? And the bottom line is they need to chisel this shit into stone. We are living in a world where this shit will happen. That's what I'm mad about, that people somehow just, I don't know, like, you know, yeah, it's bad, Stripes. Yeah, it's bad that these people are social and buddy and, you know, as far as they're concerned, it's just another job. You know what I mean? And like how they are outside of their, you know, job as far as they're concerned shouldn't, you know, I want to say interfere how they, you know, do their job. They have friends just like we have friends as far as they're concerned. And that's that. Will it hilariously interfere with how they do their job? Yes, it will, in ways that they wouldn't even be capable of seeing because, you know, they're inside and they can't see as well as maybe somebody on the outside could. But hey, that's just the way that it's going to be. You know, should it be that way? Probably not. But is it that way? Yes. Is it going to stay that way? Yes. So, dude, unfortunately, yeah, you need to find your ass somebody who's already in that. Oh yeah, I went to high school with that guy. him and his, and you know, I just want to see your wife again. We should go out to dinner. How's Sheila? She's good. Stupid.
Sheila.
What?
Nobody's named Sheila.
Yeah, Sheila and Harold. Sharon and Harold. Number 11. Oh God, I know this one. Can we not? How old are you? How old are you going, I know this one, as if you were a child in a 50s fucking school house. That's what they'd call it, Stripes. It wouldn't be just a school or a, you know, a high school or something. It'd be a schoolhouse. That's what they were going to back then. You know what I'm talking about?
Is this a spelling bee?
And then they'd come out in their dresses and be the tomboy where they braid up their hair and jump around in the dirt, little house on the prairie style, talking about, hey, catch this ball. Stupid.
I know this one.
26 years in law practice and 15 of those doing domestic relations cases. Yep, this is the type of shit that people who speak like this do. You know what I'm talking about?
My time to shine.
You know what I mean? I know this one. And then, you know, this is the life that they pursue. Corny ass motherfucker. And I know he finally get to say with authority they think that their spouse is the worst ever and that their divorce is the most difficult ever. Okay. My most common answer to their on and on rants can be, this is costing you about $5 a minute and we can make better use of my time. Besides, you're the one who married him. This one's kind of stupid and insensitive, you know? Just a reminder to everybody, this list is, you know, things that are common in divorce, okay? Whoever this is gets a little up their own ass and saying that they think their spouse is the worst ever and that their divorce is the most difficult ever. I don't like to put anything that anybody does on a scale. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Right.
In religion, you know, they will famously say that sin is sin, you know? And what that means is, like, you know, you take a little kid and you fuck that little kid, that's bad. You know what I mean? Maybe taking a knife and shoving it in the back of a couple of people is bad too. You don't really want to try and, I want to say, you know, compare these things and go, yeah, though this one's worse. Fucking that little kid though, you know what I mean? But the bottom line is, with this, we should just be focusing on what is and isn't common. Yes, everybody, you know, may think that their person is terrible. But these people can't get in these people's head. They don't know how they're affected by this shit. Some people have never known real love. Do you know what I mean? And the closest they've come are these people that they ended up with and put a ring on their finger, only to realize that they're actually terrible fucking people. Some people have never been with another person, marrying like their sweethearts out of high school and all kind of bullshit like this. And this is really and honestly the most devastating thing that could ever happen to them in their little world, because they make the other person their world. So I don't like the idea that they're being undermined just because, you know, somebody else who probably is capable and could shake it off, or maybe even the person in question, like the one writing this shit right here, you know, they've just been through it with so many people that, you know, in their head they should just be able to, oh, get over it and divorce this person, you know what I mean? But to some of these people, this is their fucking world coming apart, son. In a capacity where, like, some people are in relationships that they're in right now, Stripes, that they know that they shouldn't be in, but they will refuse to ever try to start a new one because of how long in their mind it would take to establish something new or even comparable to what they have now with that new person, you know? Whether or not it goes well or not, with who they're with right now, they do have mileage. Do you know what I mean?
Sure.
They do have, you know, the groundwork laid. They know each other and shit like that. And trying to establish that with another person would, in their mind, be so time consuming that by the time they reach the point that they wanted to be at with this new person, they would probably feel as though they've wasted their life. So, yeah, fuck number 11. How about that? Number 10. Asked a friend about this once. And for clarification, guys, the question being asked is divorce lawyers or Reddit. What do clients always think is unique about their divorce but is actually common? So what are the common things about divorce? Number 10. He said, how many people come in peacefully together? What? It's not the big standard, and it's not everyone, but it happens way more than you'd expect. Both spouses just want the divorce and to move on. That is so awesome, and like, you know, level-headed, and you know, at least they're in agreement.
Divorces drag on a lot because of spite, but when two people have agreed that they're not good for each other, it's really mature, I feel. Yep. There's probably kids involved too, so.
Nah, man. Like, here's what from my understanding, a lot of these old motherfuckers stay together because they think they helping the kids, when in reality, that shit ain't good for the kids. You know what I mean? Because these little niggas can tell something is wrong. You know what I'm talking about? Right. These little niggas gonna figure it out, and you know. It's so much worse, the idea of these little kids picking up like weird passive-aggressive veiled traits, you know what I mean, and thinking that shit is normal and acting that way with people that they grow close to. It's just this endless cycle of like damaging behavior. Apparently it happens quite a bit. He said that sometimes they'll devolve into a bit of a battle over assets, but rarely kids. But more often than not, if a couple comes in together, he has a bad day because he makes the last money off of them. Oh no. Oh, he makes the least money off of them. Shut up. That's a bad day when you ain't making enough money. Lawyer. Yeah. He said one couple collectively after divorce sent him a Christmas basket one year. What? Basically, they wanted out, and he helped navigate the legalities of it, and everyone was happy. He also had a story of a woman who had to consult with 2 private investigators for her cheating. The first one she hired was the woman he was having an affair with.
That's pretty good.
He's good, yeah.
That's pretty good.
Sounds like me. I'm kidding. It's pretty good. That would make a great romance detective novel. What the fuck?
What is that genre called when they like adapt it into memoir, something like that?
A memoir? What do you mean?
No, there's like this weird genre of detective movies.
Oh, noir.
Noir. That's it. We should watch one.
It's just like, you know, a style. Number 9. I often receive warnings from clients about how clever or smart their spouse is, and to be careful is not to let them manipulate me. I don't want to be insulting, so I just say something like, I am a professional. You know what I mean? In reality, the other spouse has never been very clever at all. They just had the power over my client and they've built through long-term emotional and psychological abuse. The client is usually pretty delighted to finally see their abuser get ripped to shreds in court. Okay. Somebody said, that was me going to my lawyer. I feel I've escaped a cult. Oh, so OP is actually a woman named Mr. the Falcon.
Mr. the Falcon. But yeah, I guess when you know a person long enough, you know how to manipulate them, really. And, shit, man. I really don't want to get close to anyone that way, you know?
Number 8.
I'm sorry.
Not so much about what do my clients think is unique, but something I've noticed, man. I'm really tired of sitting next to this fucking comedian, dude.
It's really hot in here.
It's not that hot. No, so look, we're only at number 8. Come on. Not so much about what do my clients think is unique, but something I've noticed. Is my nose stuffy? Give me a second.
Say it was.
Only the rarest of the rare client can understand how they are super illogical when it comes to their divorce. Ooh, divorce isn't rocket surgery. No, come on. Don't. No. He wrote it, guys. Don't get mad at me. But almost everyone tries to make it that way.
Well, we've learned it's good for the attorneys that these drag on.
Ooh, here we go. Somebody responds. They said, I've seen a number of friends get divorced. The level-headed ones will likely never be your client. They either do the paperwork themselves or hire a paralegal. Number 7.
Bullet point.
I'm not a divorce lawyer, but I know a few of them. Okay, so here's a bullet point. It says pets. Everyone focuses on child support, but you have no idea how much acrimony is caused by who is taking the cat in the divorce. I've even heard of parents doing child-style visitation agreements and pet support. Wow. Pet support. Like child support, Stripes.
I get that.
Like they are paying for.
I guess it is weird when you don't you come into a relationship with a pet and actually
get the fuck out of here, Stripes. Just shut up. This is all crazy. Anybody who's in a divorce, okay, and want legal custody of animal, you people are fucking crazy. These are not people. Maybe if y'all are both lonely and have no kids, you know what I'm talking about, and all y'all got is this damn dog. You know what I mean? People buying houses for dogs in Hollywood and shit like this. God damn. Y'all are exactly what's wrong with the world. You could build that house as a shelter, son, for some motherfuckers to maybe get on their feet and get some shit done. Oh, shit. Come here, Shaggy. Come on, Scruffles. Come on in this house. This is your house, Scruffles.
This is how it should be settled.
Okay, see, that's the shit room over there, Scruffles, and that's the piss room. That's the piss and shit room. You know, you could just invite your dog friends in here and just have an orgy in that piss and shit room.
What if you just put the dog between them and let him decide who he wants to go home with?
Come on, boy. Number 2 bullet, spiteful shit, like a wife trying to claim her ex-husband's signed jersey just to burn it. Okay. This happens all the time, and yet they all think that they're diabolical geniuses for wanting some asset just for the revenge value. The worst is when they tell their lawyers how much they really love that jersey and how much sentimental value it has, like they need to fool their lawyer. Bitch, your lawyer doesn't give a fuck why you want that jersey, as long as you're paying him. Living together after the divorce, yeah, it's super weird, but a lot of couples own homes together and can't really quickly get out of the situation without simultaneously paying rent on a few places and mortgage on the old place. So they'll live together as they are divorcing and trying to sell the house and even seeing other people, which of course leads to more problems. Okay. Thinking that they can come up with some crazy new scheme that the courts have never seen before that will allow them to keep everything and give the spouse nothing. And it's usually something illegal, generally hiding assets, and they've usually already started doing it. Okay. Living together after the divorce. This is what hilarious me out just now. So someone responds, we lived together during the divorce. I wanted 50% custody of the kids, and I knew leaving the house was leaving the kids, so I didn't, and she wouldn't. So we lived together for a year while having the divorce. She dated, brought men into the house, I'm guessing, had sex with them, etc. But I refused to leave until the custody was settled. I got my 50% and moved out the next day. Wow.
That's a lot of dedication to your kids. What a spiteful bitch just to bring men over here to try and chase them out. Do you think that's the only reason she brought them there?
Of course. Women are disgusting, Shrek. You don't know. Women are monsters. And hell has no fury like them. And you'll perhaps, hopefully, never learn the depth of your capacity for evil, because it's a well that is endless, and you can pull deeper and deeper and deeper until you find what you need to make what you dream a reality.
Why would I want to step over other people to make that happen?
Because there's no other way. Number 6. There are 2 main areas I've seen people are delusional about a divorce: kids and assets. he meant but it says kids.
That was
and
the
assets.
girliest laugh you've done today.
Because it's like it almost makes sense, you know. Kids and assets. Like that's a great book title, you know what I mean? Anyway, with kids, everyone screams about how much of a dick their spouse is and how the kids just absolutely hate that person. 9 times out of 10, the kids just want to move on and get back into a normal routine. They don't care about a whole lot of the faults of each parent. With assets, most people don't realize that being married really is a partnership, and that there are ways other than earning income that a spouse contributes to the marital pot. Nearly without fail, the higher earning spouse is adamant that the court will be shocked by how little their spouse did, and how there's no chance in hell their assets are going to be divided 50-50. When I practiced law, a large portion of my job was tamping down on the expectations and having to just be real with people.
I think that's tapering.
Well, nigga, they wrote tamping, you know?
Tamping is
This
a
is
word.
from the author of Kids and Assets, okay? You think you're messing with some small-time dude here? This has been gilded. I wonder why. Edit says, a lot of people seem to be confusing alimony payments with division of marital assets. They're entirely different animal. Typically, the division of marital assets is solely based on when the assets were crept. Okay, look, I don't give a fuck about this post no more. What? Number 5. Don't let your marriage turn into this, and then it's a picture. Oh shit, Beanie Babies.
Beanie Babies?
I love that his are the bigger ones. Yeah.
You don't know that.
Yeah, and I mean, like, he got the most. Yeah. I love it. What a world we live in.
But why are they at, like, some kind
Look
of...
at this guy. Look at this guy in the back. He's like, and that chick in the back like, oh, which one he gonna get? He gonna get the good one?
It doesn't look like they have a lawyer.
Huh?
It doesn't look like there's a lawyer on the right.
There's probably one out of shot. Maybe he the one taking the picture. Going, these boys ain't gonna believe this. Number 4, wife in her mid to late 30s who got married young, had kids, and has now gone a little nutso going out and sowing her wild oats. Ew. Not demeaning women here. Guys just do plenty wrong in marriages, but there is a strange phenomenon going on there. They say women reach their sexual peak around that age. Ooh. Number 2, mountains and mountains of debt. Yeah, I'd imagine that's pretty common. A lot of people own homes they can't afford as status symbols. I see a lot of people who own McMansions and a Mercedes who can't afford basic necessities. Ooh. Y'all got your lives fucked up, you know what I mean? Like, you need to stop giving a fuck about what people see you in and how people view you, and live your life in a way where, like, tomorrow ain't gonna be something you question and shit about. Like, wow. Wow, can't afford basic necessities. Y'all rolling around in Mercedes though. Number 3, men addicted to gaming, watching sports, cable news, and or the internet. Lots of women feel this way. Okay.
Do you know how many burgers you can buy out of a Mercedes?
What do you mean buy out of a? You mean buy with the money that a Mercedes would cost?
Yes, that's what I mean.
Yeah, Stripes just asked me, do I know how much burgers I could buy out of a Mercedes? Like somebody gonna roll down the street in a Mercedes and be like, hey man, I got them burgers, man. And I'm gonna be like, damn, I wonder how many I could buy out this Mercedes. And I just whip out my wallet like, how many sandwiches you got in there? And they're gonna be like, oh damn, you are our 1,000th burger customer. You just call them burgers? I'm sorry. Number 4, look, addicted to gaming and watching sports. Like, I like to think that a woman's gotta not have a lot going on. Like, yeah, there are certain guys that are just, they want to spend a lot of time doing certain things. Because maybe it's less of an addiction. Maybe it's less of an addiction and more of like a, I don't know, mild autism. You know what I'm talking about? There's nothing wrong with being mildly autistic. We're all autistic in certain outbursts. Number 4, believing your attorney can solve all your issues. Maybe should have thought about all that child support you'd have to pay and the reality of the kids before you had sex. Lots of people don't know how much the state can do to enforce that child support order. People get married way too young. Lots of young people get married right out of college because it's just the next step. Definitely not advised. Some motherfuckers get married in high school because they that stupid.
My sister got married after high school.
Well, there you go. But they'll be happy forever because they're thoroughly brainwashed, right? Aren't they in a cult?
Well, they fight now and then, but they seem pretty happy.
Well, they fight within the parameters that their stupid ass cult will allow. Listen, man, as a woman, look, women are the hardest things in the world to tame. And to tame them properly, you have to do it at a very young age. People listening, this is probably the most real shit you're going to hear. I don't care how you feel about it. It's the truth. It is the truth. If you start really young taming a female, they won't know what they're missing. They won't know what stepping out of bounds is. They won't know the capacity of their fire, so to speak. It's like, like just think of a fire for real that can grow and just roar and consume everything in its path. But if it's never gotten bigger than a flicker and doesn't know that it can get bigger than a flicker, then hey man, you constantly, just keeping that shit drowned as far as starved of oxygen will keep that fire in check. You get what I'm saying? You contain that shit like a bad boy candle and you'll be good for the rest of your life. Now, I'm not saying religion is pretty much like that, but what do you think religion is to the upper class? It's a means of, control. It is a means of control. So you take the fact that she's never really, I want to say ventured out. This isn't just applying to your sister, but probably any chick that's like,
religious.
Not religious specifically.
Under someone's thumb.
But married at a young age, and they'll never have known what spreading their wings were. And again, you've seen this dozens of times. It's pretty much just like a girl that the parents never let go out.
To be honest, she's the one with the spine in the relationship.
I'm not saying that, it can't be that way. I'm saying still, though, she's like within this very defined circle in the sand. You know what I mean? And she is not going to step out of that. We're not just talking about your sister. We're talking about a lot of girls that, they abide by their very hilarious and strict set of rules. We've talked about a lot how, people test what they can get away with, and people only try what they can get away with, but some people don't even know what they can get away with, and because of that they don't try anything. So here's another thing that says people get married way too young. Lots of people get married right out of college because it's the next step. Whoa. And somebody responds, I wish more people realize that there's no reason to hurry into marriage. I'm Bill Clinton. It doesn't make a lot Oh, you don't remember Bill Clinton, though. It doesn't make a lick of sense to me. There are thousands of reasons not to rush into it, and only a couple of reasons to get married sooner rather than later. I mean, like, again, you were marrying, like, $1 million dude, maybe. Come on, give me $1 million.
I know for a fact that, the guy that married Britney Spears, the guy who was, like, a backup dancer, he doesn't have to work a day in his life because he lives off the child support bill.
Sweet.
What
Oops, she did it again.
You should be a backup dancer, Kaya.
I should be a backup dancer for Britney Spears. And then be able to pay for my lifestyle making YouTube videos and gaming videos that nobody watches. My girlfriend has been not so subtly trying to get me to propose for years now. We've been together for about 5.5. And while I'd been ready to take that step for a while now, she hasn't even graduated college yet. I'm like, why? Why are you in such a rush? We live together. We've been together for nearly 6 goddamn years. It's pretty clear I have no intentions of going anywhere. If I wanted to nope out, I would have done it when I was still in college. I don't understand, man. This is quite the little strand here, and we could pursue it for the rest of our lives. But why? Number 3, I met a divorce lawyer in India, and you know what's unique for a divorce lawyer in India? Divorce. What? You mean they don't get divorced in India? The profession didn't really exist until about 15 years ago, and even now it's very difficult convincing people that they really do need a divorce because it's so shameful in the culture. Wow. I seem to remember, says a responder, that until recently in Ireland it was so hard to get a divorce that it was common practice to stay married and move out, and eventually live with your new partner while still married to the original spouse. Another person responds, divorce was only legalized in Ireland in 1996.
Ugh.
My mind was blown learning this at school. 20 years? Come on.
I seem to remember, I'm not sure if it's in India, but there's like a third world country that requires the women to honor suicide themselves, like by throwing themselves into a fire when their husband dies.
Oh, my husband is dead. Not funny.
They could do it willingly, or they can be.
The Irish are the drunks.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's ridiculous how many gorgeous redhead women come out of fucking Ireland, though. Pointlessly ridiculous. But yeah, that's why they're drunk then. You got to deal with their corny ass wives. Just get drunk, make them pretty again for a couple of minutes, fuck them, have some more babies. You can get 1 billion babies.
Well, they're Catholics, I'm pretty sure.
1 billion babies. Maybe one of those guys will grow up to be a backup dancer for some lady. Maybe one of them will sell some burgers out of a Mercedes. You know? Did that rhyme? Backup dancer for some lady, sell some burgers out of Mercedes. Yeah. Number 2.
Put a pin in that.
Paralegal here. When cheating is involved, the client will often bring in the mountains of photographs, text messages, printouts, bank statements, showing where the cash was withdrawn. They need me to understand how awful this is, and then they want me to go stake out their soon-to-be cheating ex. Cheating is insanely common. My standard reply is, oh yes, I understand. Yeah, I've seen 100 pictures and 1,000 text messages. Yep, he or she is horrible for doing this to you. It's always met with, but don't understand this is the worst thing that has ever happened. Trust me, I understand. You are coming to see me on your worst day ever. I will be sure that the attorney understands your file inside and out, but you aren't going to shock us, and I am not Facebook stalking your soon-to-be ex. Well, I might just for fun, but I won't go on a stakeout with you. Somebody responds, I feel like that could be a movie. Divorce lawyer goes on a stakeout with a soon-to-be ex-wife and ends up falling in love. Soon-to-be ex-husband discovers this and tries to sabotage the fledgling relationship. Fucking number 1, man. My mom's a divorce lawyer, and I asked her, and she said that most people who she works with seem to think that they are unique with how much of an asshole their ex is. Oh, but you've never met my ex. Oh my god. That's the list. Don't feel the need to check it twice or something.
It's too bad Jennifer Aniston is too old to be in a movie like that.
Thank God, man. I was really getting tired of seeing that bitch's fucking face as the female lead in every piece of shit movie that some asshole on the toilet conceived. Alright, check it out, man. Lady is just working, right? She's working, doesn't have time. And here's the kicker. She works at a construction site, right? So she's like one of the guys catcalling after dudes when they walk by. But one day, some guy turns around and goes, "What'd you say to me? Why don't we grab some dinner?" And then she's all like, dinner? Hold on, I gotta... And then he flushes the toilet because he's on the toilet coming up with this bullshit idea. Fuck me, man. Guys, I hope you, I feel like my nose is all stuffed up. What the hell about?
Well, you say it's, having to talk down to this mic that does that to you.
I know, but it's partially the fact that, like, I always, whenever when we record these, it's like I just jumped up. I woke up. You think I could put a Mercedes on the,
No, I don't think you can buy a Mercedes off of Amazon.
Well, how about a Mercedes that comes with, what the fuck is this? Oh God, it was Googling cell phone accessories. That was really confusing stuff. Okay, so there's a Mercedes, a wood grain tumbler. You gotta be really in the Mercedes, motherfucker, to buy something like this.
Why don't you buy a tiny model car instead?
That's what I assumed would come up when I typed that in. I actually do need a good cap, but I don't want a baseball cap. I mean, I don't want a Mercedes-Benz cap, is what I mean. And I don't think they call them caps either. I think that's like a very old man way of putting that you need a hat. But you put hat into...
I think you should buy one of those cups that have a plunger at the bottom, so it's hard for them to knock over.
No, this is what I'm talking about. It's a unisex cap, motherfucker. What is this? Which is the good one? This one? This one has 836 votes.
The Kermit, though.
These hats better not lick my ass. Which hat is going to be the cool one? The black one?
Red.
Put it all on black. How do I know that, my head is going to be big?
And safe.
No, yet how do I know that this hat is going to fit my head? Are there better hat makers out here? This isn't prime. God damn it. Let's just throw the hat on the damn list.
We don't have anything to measure the circumference of your head.
I know I got a big head, man. Not big like Mandark big, but like it's up there. Okay, so I was gonna read another list about like flights or something, but it didn't seem that great.
I've been on a few flights. I have some tenure with this.
You did it, Stripes. Here's a taste, all in your mouth, of that next list. Number 15. Here's something that you should know about flights. If you have to poop, lay toilet paper in the toilet first. It won't smear. Stripes. Did you ever use the bathroom on the flight?
No, never once.
And here's the thing, like, I've been out with Stripes before, and Stripes will be like, "I gotta use the bathroom, let's go." So she's one of those people who uses bathrooms outside of, like, the house. And let me tell you something, guys. As far as I'm concerned, there are two types of people in the world. People who will use a public bathroom and people who won't, and I am not the type of person.
But I do put toilet paper down when it's a public bathroom.
I get you. I feel like I'd almost come within inches of poop in my pants before I was just like, you know what? Let's do it outside. Okay, guys. Happy New Year.
Oh, I didn't know he was in the game too.
Yeah, you can evolve the Togepi. It would just be difficult because you'd have to make it your buddy. We're talking about Pokemon now, guys. I love you, and we'll talk to you soon. Maybe a bonus divorce thing to end this list. Just let me scroll down here. How many did we do? 15?
15.
Okay.
Stop the list so I can eat my peanut butter snack.
Go ahead and just have your peanut butter bullshit right now.
And.
Okay. Most clients probably don't realize the lawyers get paid to fight, not to settle.
And that's why they're very...
It's funny, like, they let this stupid shit get drawn out because they're all emotional, but come on now.
I bet it's a good bracket to be in.
Texas family law attorney. How controlling their spouse usually the husband is. Ooh. Verbal abuse. The husband only wants 50%. 50%, like 50 of the possessions. And kids, and to waive child support. And the wife only wants primary Conservatorship? What's conservatorship?
No idea.
Let's look that up and learn some to end this list. Conservatorship is a legal concept in the United States of America. A guardian or protector is appointed by judge to manage the financial affairs and or the daily life of another due to physical or mental limitations or old age. Like, what the fuck? Man, that doesn't even make sense to me. God damn, what the fuck? Monkey powers. Guys, I love you. And, I don't know, man. I want to play Inside. Maybe I should start that now. I'm going to start Inside now and, you know, make 4 people make the difficult choice of whether or not they want to watch the list. I'm sorry. I couldn't push the button. Oh my god.
Okay.
Let's push the button.
What's in your mouth?